Hi guys, what's up? I'm currently at Starbucks and then I'm gonna meet my friend for thrifting. I'm gonna talk about this more later in the vlog, but my goal for 2026 is just to take as many photos and videos as possible and not really care too much about like if they fit a vlog aesthetic or if it is perfect lighting or anything like that. Just like get as much as I possibly can on film. So this is like the tester vlog of that. And I'm really sad. I'm 10 points away from getting a free drink and I really didn't want to spend money today. Womp womp. Hi guys. I wanted to start by talking about my 2025. At the start of the year, I wrote down a few goals and I wanted to talk about them. My first goal was to read 2 books per month. I read 22 books in 2025, so I barely missed it. I wanted to take my vitamins every day. I did not do this. In fact, I actually quit vitamins like 2 months in. I wanted to drink 100 ounces of water per day. I think I got worse at this. I wanted to do no heat on my hair. I did this. And I wanted to do Project Pan, which I also did. 2025 was such a busy and chaotic year for me. So much happened. I journaled about 2025 pretty extensively. And I was talking about how a lot of big things happened, but also every day was good. Even in the days where good things didn't happen, it was still a good day. I was talking about how many firsts I experienced in 2025. For example, I applied to my first college. I got accepted to my first college, a lot of other personal firsts as well. And then I talked about some of my favorite memories, which were like Halloween and my summer friend group. We used to sneak into the Hyatt every Friday. I went to Tate McRae 3 times in 2025. I saw Sabrina Carpenter, I saw Post Malone, I saw Stevie Nicks. I took a lot of great trips this summer. I went to Boston and Rockport, which are both vlogged, and then I also went to Pennsylvania. 2025 was just the year that I had felt like my whole life was supposed to feel like and didn't, and then 2025 it finally did. I literally wrote, the best way to describe 2025 is like a movie. When people describe life in high school on TV, that's how 2025 felt. I even mentioned about how like bad things did happen. Like a lot of bad things happened in 2025, but it was still such a good year, and it was a year of perseverance, and it was a year of learning, and it was a year of expanding and elevating and growing. I also thought it would be fun to talk about 2026. Back in October, I started a list of ins and outs just in my life, but I think they still apply to 2026 as well. Ins: being prepared, going on walks, traveling, what's the worst that could happen mentality, taking pictures. Outs: doom scrolling, oversharing, talking bad about others, making ourselves less than, and trying to fit in where we don't belong. My favorite part of the video is I want to talk about 2026 and my goals and just everything I want to accomplish. I took a different approach than I did in 2025. 2025, I just picked 5 goals and I worked on ways I could achieve them. I only achieved 2 of them, which is fine, but I thought keep it more simplistic. Don't go for those little stupid easy peasy goals. Actually challenge yourself. And the 2 things that I stuck to ended up being great. But 2026, I wanted to just add a few more fun things and just personal things. 2026, I'm going to college this year. I'm graduating high school. Like, this is the year to step out of my comfort zone and take risks. My first one for 2026 is to take an unnecessary amount of pictures and videos. I think sometimes I think a picture is only good enough to have if it's a good photo, but honestly, I just want to have so many photos, so many memories. I get worried about my storage and what I'm going to do with them. Who cares? Like, this is the time to remember. So many times I'm looking back on things, I'm like, oh, I wish I took more pictures. Number 2, I want to have an abundance of hobbies outside of my phone, and I want to be consistently and actively engaged in them. But basically my goal for 2026 is just to forget that I have a phone. Like, it's gone from my memory. Where's my phone? I don't know. It's not even really about like reducing my screen time or stopping scrolling. It's more just about developing myself as a person. I think the worst thing that could ever happen to me is someone ask me, what are your hobbies? And I have to think on it. My name is Molly. I love playing piano. I love reading. I like making bracelets. Like, there should be at least 15 things you can say about yourself before you start getting confused. I think everyone should have at least 15 hobbies or things to say about themselves before they have to think on it. I want to try my school's AP Psych 2-week program. Basically, for the AP Psych students at my school, they do this 2-week program that I'm not 100% sure what the rules are, but essentially you have to get 8 hours of sleep every night. 45 minutes before bed, you have to be screen free, no taking naps, 50 ounces of water. I think I also want to add like no eating in my bed, no eating on the couch. I really want to just focus on like my meal that I'm eating for those 2 weeks. I have a really bad habit of getting food and just eating it in my car or eating it on the couch while I'm watching TV. And I really want to stop that and actually just like, eat a meal and appreciate it at the kitchen counter like it was made to be. I want to do this for 2 reasons. The first being I think it'll be a really good dopamine reset for me. And Also, I am a stage 5 quitter. I quit everything. I am just so not an accountable person for myself. For other people, I'm accountable, but for things on my own, I quit. I don't challenge myself. I give up. So I want to do this to prove to myself that I can. And it's nothing crazy like no sugar. It's just, you know, it's things that are very easily obtainable if you put your mind to it. I am going to continue doing Project Pan in 2026. I absolutely loved doing it in 2025, and although I didn't make like the biggest dent, I already do notice a difference, and I just can't even imagine how free I'm gonna feel after doing it for 2 years. I want to go on walks and find more alternative ways of exercise. Past 4 years I've played basketball, and this year I'm not, and I just want to find ways to be active that aren't just going to the gym. I do love going to the gym, but I think it would be fun to like try other things. Also, I'm really scared of going on walks by myself, but I think going to college in the fall and like having that college campus is the perfect environment to go on walks and step out of my comfort zone. Number 6, I want to learn when to speak and when to not. I, like so many other people, have a horrible habit of over-explaining myself and just sort of being like, oh, I don't care what we do. I don't mind where we eat. Oh no, I don't care. Anything's fine with me. I know what I want and I never say it. And it bothers me because I'm naturally an assertive person and I don't ever have a hard time speaking my mind except for in situations like those. We all have seen the 365 buttons girl, and I literally want to print that out and put it on my wall because she was speaking facts. Like, it doesn't have to make sense to anyone else but you. You should do it for you. The next thing is I want to say yes to more. I literally put, do you want to go on a trip? Yes. Do you want to come to this party? Yes. Do you want to go to the beach? Yes. Bible study? Yes. Concert? Yes. There's so many experiences that we're missing out on and we don't even realize it. Think about if you said yes to everything you were offered, how busy you would be. Think about it. I have such a hard time of being scared or being like, but I don't know anyone, or what if they don't like me? At the end of 2025, I said yes to going on a trip with people that I never would have said yes to just out of fear, and it was so fun, and I'm going again in like 2 days. I could count on one hand the amount of times saying yes to something has backfired, and I wish I hadn't have done it. Number 8, and this one is kind of far-fetched, is I want to try a social media detox. I am Steph Bohr's biggest fan. I would read her shopping list. Like, I'm basically on her ceiling with how much of a fan I am. Like, I cannot get enough of her. It's been this way for the past like 3 years. She, in 2025, talked about how she did no social media for like months and how she loved it. I am gonna try for 2 weeks. I'm gonna let myself keep Pinterest and YouTube and like keep my Snap streaks alive. It's really just Instagram and TikTok. So much of my time is going towards those things and it's really unnecessary. I have nothing to do on there. I don't really post on there that often. In 2025, I deleted Instagram for like a week or 2 at a time, but I would download it like for 5 minutes and like look at people and then delete it again. And I know I could do it, especially Instagram. TikTok is going to be harder, but it's definitely still doable. Those are all of my 2026 goals for now. I'm sure I will add some. I kept some empty pages so that I could have some room in case I did. But I decided this year I also wanted to do some monthly resolutions. I decided to just combine January and February since I started this on January 23rd. Basically, I decided to do this because there's some things that I want to try, but I don't want to hold myself to them all year long. And other things are really simple. I feel like it's cheating if I put them as a resolution, but if I put them as a monthly goal, it's still a great way to get it done. This is basically like my month to-do list with a few goals. The first goal that I have is to take a yoga class. My TikTok has been filled with people influencing me to try yoga. My mom was always super into it. I never liked the idea of it, but I really want to try it. And there's so many places you can go for like a free class, so I feel like this is perfect. I need to find a new purse more than I need oxygen in my lungs. So my one right now, it's from Shein. It's dingy, it's breaking, it's tiny. I can't fit everything in there. And I've made it my mission for January and February to find a purse. I want to bring my camera with me everywhere. This is something that will help my 2026 year-long resolution of taking more pictures, but just having my nice camera with me everywhere is going to help so much. I want to oil my hair more often. This one's pretty simple, but I have a lot of like hair oiling stuff and I don't do it very often to see results, so I really want to try it for like a month and see. I want to go on walks more. I really want to make my vision board. I've had like pins saved for a while, but I actually want to like make it, even if it's just digitally. I want to detail my car. I asked for this for Valentine's Day from my parents, so maybe I'll get that, but if not, I want to detail it myself. I am such a neat freak with my room and my car and everything like that. Recently, I've been on the go so much that my truck is taking the fall of that, and I need to just deep clean him and like get him all good. Number 8, I want to journal the good moments. I journal all the time. This is my second journal this year. She's already like a good third filled. I journal almost every day. But I always focus on the negatives. And even if there's not something negative, I find something to complain about. And I really just want to focus on some positives too, because I think it honestly, sometimes I feel like my journal is a manifesto for bad things to happen to me, but I love the idea of journaling the good moments too. I don't want to look back and only read about how horrible my life is when I know my life is good. I want to add more lights to my room. I had these like curtain lights for a few months and I loved them, and then they died and I haven't put new ones up, and I just love, like, I hate the big light. I'm a big light hater, so I would love some more lights in my room. The next thing I wanted to talk about is books. I feel like you guys don't know this, but I love reading and I read kind of a lot. And I really want to start talking about books more and more on my channel, and I want to do more reading vlogs in the future. I just love reading so much. So I figured I would talk about my 5 favorite books that I read in 2025. I read 23 books, so it wasn't like too hard to choose. My 5th favorite book I read in 2025 is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Don't hate me when I say this. I'm not the biggest Emily Henry fan. This is my 3rd book I've read by her. This is my favorite. The other 2 sort of just missed the mark for me. I read Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation. I think it's sort of just like a little bit, I also read them a few years ago, so I think it was a little bit too old for me at the time, but this hit the mark perfectly. It was so cute. I loved the premise of it. I loved the characters. This was such a good book. And the cover is like so cute. Something about a pink book is always going to do it for me. Number 4, we have the Shatter Me series. I read like the first half of the series in 2025. I just brought the cover book to kind of demonstrate. I'm not really gonna pick like a favorite book out of the series or anything like that, but just the series as a whole came in 4th place for me in 2025. Next up, we have The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walther. I had tried to start this book probably 4 times and I just could never get into it. But once I made it past like 40 pages, oh my gosh, this book was so cute. I read this one, I think, at like the very start of summer. Also, I'm not gonna give you guys like the plots of the books because like I hate when people do that. I'm just gonna share my thoughts on it. But it was so cute. I loved the assassin game, and like that aspect of it made it so fun to read and unlike any other thing I've read. I feel like a lot of the time with like romance, especially young adult romance, I feel like it gets very like repetitive and just, I've read this book 40 times, it's just different characters. But this was so refreshing and it was new and it was so good. I don't have the actual books with me, but coming in at number 2 is To All the Boys I've Loved Before series. Those are some of my favorite movies I've ever watched, and I didn't really think I'd like the books that much. I read it at the very start of 2025, and it was perfect because I was the same age as Laura Jean was. She was applying to colleges, that's what I did. We faced a lot of the same struggles at the same time, and I think it was just so therapeutic for me to read those. They were so good. I think I gave all of them 5 stars. Maybe I gave the last one like 4.5 or something. I love them even more than the movies. They're honestly one of my favorite series now, like of all time. So good. Coming in at number 1, I don't think anyone who's on Book Talk should be surprised. One Golden Summer by Carly Fortune. I read Every Summer After like 5 years ago. I read in 8th grade 5 years ago. That's crazy. Anyway, I read Every Summer After 5 years ago and I absolutely loved it so much. This takes the cake. This was so good. I literally read it in like one sitting after a flight during the summer. I read it right after I got home from my Boston trip that I vlogged about. It was so good. Literally the bucket list aspect, like it was just so perfect. I don't want to talk about it too much because everyone talks about it, but it was so good. Definitely my favorite book that I read of 2025, and I really recommend it to anyone who is looking for a good book to read because this was life-changing. Hi guys, so I forgot to say 2 things for my 2026 resolutions. First one, I'm still gonna be doing no heat. It was an absolute game changer for my hair in 2025. My hair has literally grown so much. It's so much healthier. Like I so recommend doing that to anyone who's thinking about it. It wasn't as hard as I thought it was. I used to put heat on my hair every single day. Like 360 out of 365 days of the year, heat was going on my hair. The other one that I've kind of like always done, but I really thought it was important to say because I also think other people should do this, and that is shopping cruelty-free only. In this day and age, there are so many options for things and you can always find at least one cruelty-free option. So I only buy makeup, hair, toothpaste, literally anything. It has to be cruelty-free, even like laundry detergent. A really great laundry detergent called Molly's detergent. I'll link it down below. It's really good. It's all natural. It's cruelty-free. But yeah, cruelty-free only. Only. Yeah, it's also like not hard at all to like be conscious about that. So that's what I wanted to add. Hi guys. Okay, this is kind of like a random little part of the video, but I'm about to leave for a trip and it's already February 5th, so I didn't want to wait any longer to film this. I want to show you guys my January project pan for 2026. I mentioned earlier that I did project pan in 2025 and I kind of like saved everything I used on my phone, but I wanted to kind of like try and at least show you guys when I finish things for the month. So this is my collection of January empties. I keep it all in this drawer right here. So let's go. First thing that I finished is the TheraBreath mouthwash. I love this. This is my third bottle. I've already bought a fourth. Yeah, I really like this stuff. So repurchase. I finished 2 hair masks. They were both like pretty much empty at the start of January, but I finished them off. The first is this Moroccan Oil Intense Hydrating Mask. I love this stuff. It smells amazing. I would repurchase this a million times over, but I have so many hair products that I'm not repurchasing anything at the moment, but I totally would repurchase this because it's amazing. I also used up the L'Oreal Elvive mask and I also really liked this. I finally finished this Secret deodorant. I did not like this. It's not bad. I just don't like the smell. I don't like the scent. Next, I used up the CeraVe SA Salicylic Acid moisturizer for rough and bumpy skin. This is technically for your body, but I started using it on my face a few years ago and I absolutely loved it. However, my dermatologist told me it was too strong for my face, so I ended up going back to using it on my body. I wouldn't repurchase it because I have so many lotions, an endless amount of lotions, but I did love this. And if you guys are looking for a moisturizer, I did love this. And she said it's good, just not for my skin type. I finished this Trader Joe's toothpaste. I'm so happy to have it gone. I did not like this. The smell was not good. I just didn't like it. It wasn't good at all. I finished a thing of clindamycin. I thought I'd include it because I thought it was funny. I finished the Trader Joe's moisturizer. I liked this, but I prefer the one I'm using right now, so I'm not going to repurchase this. I finished my Super Milk. The label is like completely rubbed off, but I absolutely love this stuff. It is so amazing. I already have another one. It's so amazing. Like, it's genuinely life-changing. Like, if you're not using Super Milk, I feel bad for the people around you because they're missing out on the heavenly scent that you could be producing and giving off if you were using Super Milk. Another hair product I finished up was this Pacifica Coconut Milk Detangle Elixir. Both of these are really great cruelty-free products. That's another thing I talked about earlier, is that I'm only buying cruelty-free products in 2026. In 2025, I made a very conscious effort not to buy anything cruelty-free, but I can't say 100% if I did or not. So in 2026, no buying things that are not cruelty-free. But these are both really great cruelty-free options and I love them both. This I use after the shower and this I use like after I style it. I used up this NARS concealer. I love this, but I prefer the NYX one. And I'm pretty sure NYX is cruelty-free. Let's maybe make sure of that maybe real quick. Yes, NYX is cruelty-free. And I don't know if NARS is or not, but NYX is so much like cheaper in its drugstore and I really like it. So I'm sticking to that one. But I do love this and I used it for years. I finished another thing of eye drops. I use these multiple times a day. Every single day. I love them. I finished this Not Your Mother's Clean Freak travel sized dry shampoo. I used to use this religiously. I really love it. I ended up switching to one that gives me a little bit more volume, but I still buy this and I use it for traveling. Last but not least, for January, I finished this Christmas cheer candle. It smells fine. I'm glad I finished it. I definitely won't repurchase it. I feel like Target candles have let me down consistently. The wick stopped lighting. They get like really like uneven. I'll literally burn it so that it's all burnt all around and it'll still dry uneven. I just don't like them. Those are all of my January empties. I really recommend you guys use Project Pan. It's helped me declutter my life so much. I really advocate for it when I can. But yeah.